Okay, this is going to be just one of those, you don't have to bother looking at the screen. I'm just going to sit here and rant kind of videos here today. So I've been catching up on Ethan's 4-hour-long lawsuit video against Mark Waid. And and I've been looking into it myself and checking up on, like, not Ethan, but, like Chuck Dixon and a handful of other pages. And honestly, I mean, I'm so glad that GoFundMe allows you to screen cap people who donated, and there's a list of donations, because in my own personal Facebook account, I've been railing against CBR for at a minimum of 6 years, maybe even 7 years, probably for about as long as some of the OGs have been doing YouTube videos. That's been me on Facebook. So Captain Cummings, I think, has been around since like 2000. I think he said he started about 2009, 2010. So, or somewhere in that area. So he and I have been probably doing this. I mean, chances are I've probably seen him comment on Facebook a couple of times too. He and I probably found ourselves on the same threads. Yeah, I have been battling against CBR for a very, very, very long time. Only just recently have I straight up just removed them from my Facebook account, because I got sick and tired of them revealing important details in the post, right? Like Venom, the Venom movie, they straight up revealed the ending. The movie had just been out for maybe like a day and a half. I think it was like Friday night or maybe Saturday morning. They dropped this post where they reveal a major plot point to the ending. And dude, I had enough. They did that to Captain America Civil War, when they were like, oh yeah, check out the toy for this mysterious character that shows up in the movie. And I clicked the link, and I'm like, I know it was probably pretty bad of me to do so, but they reveal that they revealed that Ant-Man becomes Giant Man in the movie. And so that was really shitty. That was super duper shitty. And the movie had only been out. Actually, I don't even think it was out in America yet. It's still in the European release. So we were in that 1 week wait from the European into the American release. Which, by the way, I don't care what anybody said. That's a bunch of bullshit. All right, movies need to be released simultaneously, same weekend. None of this, no more of this fucking foreign market gets American movies, tax funded, and kickbacked and all this other shit by American money gets sent over to the fucking UK and Russia and the Asias like China and shit before we get to fucking see it. That's bullshit, man. That's some straight up bullshit. That shit needs to stop. That's a dumb fucking practice. I know they usually fear that their movies won't do as good, so they want more time for it to sit there and generate. But I'm like, why don't you just keep it in there longer? You don't have to put our movies out first overseas and then let it linger. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It really doesn't make any sense. That means that they've been editing American movies for foreign markets longer, and they edit them first before they come here. That's why it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, nevertheless though, but yeah, they didn't even reveal it in the article. They dropped the fucking plot point right in the post about Venom, which made me drop them. I quit, man. I've had enough. But the thing about it though, so CBR, what a bunch of fucking dickheads, right? So I have been battling with these people, and they probably mute me, so they never saw it, but I'm always battling them and their supporters and all this other shit. And so some of the things that they're most notorious for is they would write articles like, "It's about time we get a black Wonder Woman," or "There's too many straight white males working in the industry," or "There's too many straight male or white males as superheroes," and they'd write this kind of shit, man. And I'll tell you what, I was always banging that out. The first comment would always be like, "Well, we can see your company. We can go to your website. We can see your staff. You are predominantly," and they are predominantly, I don't even remember seeing a single fucking black person in their staff at all in the pictures. CBR is mostly Indians. It's Asians, either Chinese or Japanese, one of the, some around there, and white people. And, it's a decent mix of men and women, but, the racial demographics are pretty stagnant, because, Indians and Chinese and Japanese, they're all technically all considered Asian. They're just different different nationalities. But, but you have two of the perceived best racial demographics in the Western civilization between Canada and America, right? Specifically, when you specifically break it down, Indians are the top successful racial demographic in America and Canada. They have the highest grossing income of everyone, of every racial demographic. They have the highest income rate across the board. Their women I'm even almost positive that their women almost make more money than their men, right? And then you have the various Asian, with Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. Those guys kind of intermingle, and Caucasians are, actual, straight white people. They are, I believe we were like number 5 or 6, I think. In the pecking order of everything, and then I think it was like African Americans are like 1 or 2 notches below white people in there, so they're either 6 or 7, but white people are 5, right? So you have a bunch of racial demographics above white people, but white people are perceived to be the most successful just because there's more white people in America and Canada, in the U.S. and Canada, so that's why they're just perceived to be the more successful, just because there's just more of them. But success per capita, basically per person, Indian people are the most successful. I believe this was done 3 years ago. It was under Obama for sure. Maybe it was 2014. Was when they did this. You can probably find the statistics for this. They may have since upgraded or updated it. I'm not too positive as of right now, but but it's like for CBR, that's their racial demographic. So it's like, I'm banging it out right away. I'm like, okay, so why don't you fire, some of your whites and Asians and start hiring more black people to work for you? Why don't you set the path, right? Why don't you set the actual racial demographic path that you demand out of everyone else? Why don't you do that? You demand everybody else fire all their white men. Why don't you fire all your white men and replace them with black or Latino or I don't know, Middle Eastern or whatever race you're gonna fucking get on your high horse about, right? Native Americans or I don't know, Eskimos or some shit, right? Like, why don't you fucking do it? Why don't you fucking do it? Why don't you get off your fucking liberal white asses and fucking put your money where your mouth is and start firing those people? Oh, right, because if you did, it would be racial discrimination. Oh, yeah, that's right, because that's one fucking thing about CBR and comicbook.com. The CBS owns fucking comicbook.com. What kind of shit is that now, right? So we have all these companies that are out there trying to formulate and are the comic book culture, the comic book subculture. These mega corporations are trying to shape and mold it. at first, when the talks of Marvel buying Disney, I was kind of okay with it, because I was like, well, you know what they might do is, because they're so big, they can invest a little bit more money in it. We might get more books at a cheaper price, sort of like what DC Rebirth did, even what New 52 started off with, right? Well, okay, right before New 52, because they had we draw the line at $2.99 before New 52. New 52 came out, and they kind of jacked up the pay scale a little bit on certain books, but they eventually went back to it with Rebirth, but I think they've since gone back to jacking up the price again. But but I was kind of hoping that they would do that. Well, I was definitely wrong. I've been wrong about Marvel quite a bit. Whenever I think that they're going to do something actually positive, but anytime that I'm like, well, you know what, they're going to fuck up and they're going to screw, they're going to start doing this and they're going to start doing this, that's when I'm right. It's whenever Marvel does wrong is when I'm right, and when I'm hoping that they'll do right, that's when I'm always wrong. So, honestly, if I can think of the worst possible thing for them to do, they'll do it, which is, so far, it seems like Cebulski is trying to rein in some of the bullshit that's been going on. Honestly, for me, I don't really give a fuck. Anyway, Marvel's dead. I mean, to me, it's pretty fucking morbid to even put their books up on shelves. It's kind of like putting dead bodies on display, like during the Spanish Red Scare, when the communists were nailing the corpses of nuns to churches. They were digging up the dead bodies of nuns and nailing them to the walls of a church, because they hated Christians, and they hated Catholics, and they hated everything. So that's what they were doing. They were digging them up, and so to me, it's kind of like that now, in a very symbolic way. I'm not trying to say it's literally. I'm just saying it's symbolically very similar. That it's just these characters are dead. That brand is dead. I mean, there's nothing there anymore. There's nothing there for anybody anymore. And so when I see people doing reviews, it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's kind of more like an autopsy than it is really a book review at this point. So, I mean, you can have a morbid curiosity of like what's happening with Cosmic Ghost Rider or Venom or any of these other cats, but I mean, that's fine. And maybe you like looking at that stuff, but I'm done. Like, for me, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over Marvel. I'm over Star Wars. Star Wars feels the exact same to me. I mean, now that Disney has it and they've perverted it and they've just killed it, I'm not interested. So hopefully DC will pull it out. Hopefully they'll stop and they'll knock it off, and they'll get their act together, before too late. And we'll see what happens from there. But so far, from what I can tell, there's definitely other companies, and there's definitely a lot more independents that are coming up. I never got around to doing my video review of the alternate comics. Honestly, I've just gotten so busy. I did read them. I do like them. Jumper Zero was really good. It's a very fun comic. I will actually get around to doing a review here soon. Once we get settled into our new place, which is ours, and the sound in there is a lot better than it is in that house. There's a lot less empty airspace, because we're gonna be moving into like a smaller trailer. So there's a lot, because the roof is smaller, the rooms are a little bit smaller. My voice will carry a lot better in the new home than it does in the current place that we're staying. So I'm looking forward to doing more reviews. Plus, I mean, in the comfort of my own home, I can do whatever I want. So I can do more things. But honestly, so getting back to the topic on hand, though, I'm really glad that this right here, this lawsuit, I mean, this lawsuit is going to pay dividends. I am telling you what. I mean, this lawsuit's going to have interest for years and years to come, because the donators list to Mark Waid. If there's people on there that we haven't heard of, we will more than likely, we'll hear about those people coming up. There's going to be people on that list, I'm telling you, within years to come, within the next few years, you're going to see them. There's going to be some people they might be independents, they might be something, but they're scratching his back now because he's working at the Humanids. He's the creative director at Humanids. If he doesn't get fired immediately, and he's still able to keep his job at that company, you're going to see some of those names on his donators list becoming creative staff. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, man. That's what's going to happen. They're scratching his back so they can get they can get something in return. They're going to show him the list and say, I donated to you, and and blah blah blah, kiss his ass, suck his dick, and then they're gonna they're going to get they're gonna get some shit back. They're gonna get an editor position, artist, writer, something. They're gonna get a fucking position, and we're gonna start seeing their names start hitting it. I'm promising you. Just keep your eyes open. This is one of those wait and see games. So. But, alright, 16 minutes I'm running, so I'm going to just end this video now and talk at you guys much, much later. Bye.